Joining me now is Joe Mapes, the legislative specialist for the Louisiana Farm Bureau. Obviously, that's just one of the things you'll be dealing with this legislative session when it starts on March 29th. What are some of the other big issues, Joe?
Well, agriculture and Farm Bureau specifically has its own proactive package of legislation that includes issues from groundwater, surface water issues, and some issues dealing with animal agriculture as far as best practices for livestock and poultry. We've got a piece of legislation dealing with the sorghum grain assessment in regard to the federal checkoff program versus the state. So we're going to have our own set of bills that we're actively pushing, but we're also going to be on the defense. We're not quite sure what that means just yet because bill filing is not complete. When that's complete, we'll start to see what we're going to be dealing with as far as amending and possibly opposing bills.
Well, just last week we showed you that Governor Bobby Jindal was there in Luling for the expansion at the Monsanto plant. Tell me a little bit about the involvement you had with that.
Well, you know, we're always working with the governor's office in trying to promote agriculture. In that instance, we have to give most of the credit to the governor and his people for bringing in that additional expanded industry to Louisiana. And the fact that it's specifically agriculture related is even better for us.
Well, just this week, the Revenue Estimating Committee announced that another $400 million is not there for state government to use. How is that going to impact agriculture as a whole, the LSU Ag Center, and most of state government? I mean, because that's a pretty big budget hole they're going to have to just lop off here at the end of their budget year. That's
right. That's in addition to the $289 million mid-year cuts we've already suffered. So this is the second budget crisis in 2010 for Louisiana, which is rare even across the country. Other states have only dealt with one budget crisis thus far. We planned on cutting roughly $2 billion from the budget beginning March 29th with the regular session. That's going to bring us up for closer to $3 billion for the year in total cuts. And again, then in the next fiscal year, we're looking at another $1 billion in cuts. So what that means for agriculture is, at some point, especially for the Ag Center, you're going to have to start digging into personnel, and personnel is how you, through extension, get the services and the research out there. So that's going to affect the Ag Center. It's also going to affect the Ag Department. I know Commissioner Strain has tightened his belt and done just about all he can, but he's going to be asked to do more, as are all agencies.
All right, thank you very much. Joe Mapes, he is the legislative specialist for the Louisiana Farm Bureau. So, Mike, legislative session begins March 29th, and this is going to be one of the longer sessions, not one of the quick fiscal-only sessions that we normally have every other year.
Thanks, Avery. Now, if you'd like to know more about the bills coming up in this regular session, you can click on over to our website, twilatv.org, and click on Voter Voice.